Hello and welcome to the Tarot with Titania reading of the week for January 9th to the 16th, 2026. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome. It's lovely to have you here joining your energy to mine as we co-create these readings of the week with regards to the energy that we need to know about personally and collectively. And with that, I invite you to close your eyes and take 3 nice deep breaths with me, joining your energy to mine across time and space so we can pull in what it is that we most need to know this week. 3 nice deep breaths in, please. And with that third exhale, I invite you to envision a tree root coming down out of the base of your spine, going down deep into Mother Earth and grounding you here and now in this present moment, knowing that this tree root is not only anchoring you and grounding you, but it is also a conduit through which anything that no longer serves you can easily pass down into Mother Earth and become compost for your new good growth. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I am here with all of your children now and in the future, co-creating this reading of the week for January 9th to the 16th, 2026. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information we most need to receive right now, and to provide this in a manner that we will easily and effortlessly hear, understand, and integrate for our well-being and the well-being of anyone whose life we touch. I call upon my higher self and the higher selves of all those listening, as well as an overlighting angel of communication, to be present and facilitate this exchange, ensuring that it happens in the highest and best way possible, and that we cover all that is in our personal and our collective heart and mind at this time to our satisfaction in this window that we have together here today. I'd now like to invite the 4 archangels to come and hold the 4 directions around us across time and space, creating a magnificent container of light, of love, of clarity, of wisdom, of healing, of insight, of transformation, of peace. I invite Raphael to hold the east, Michael to hold the south, Gabriel to hold the west, and Uriel to hold the north. Thank you for coming. Anything that doesn't match these frequencies and intentions is welcome to go now. Okay, let's get into the reading this week, shall we? So, Creator, what is it that we need to know in service to our highest and greatest good this week so that we can make use of this awareness and allow it to serve us in our unfolding, in our good, in showing up in the best way possible and drawing out the highest and best in everyone around us, as well as ourselves? What do we need to know, Creator, for this week of January 9th to the 16th, 2026? Okay. Here we go. Okay, so starting with the position of the recent past. So this is information from our past that's relevant to us now, to this next week as we go forward. We have the energy of the King of Hearts. The King of Hearts is the masculine representation of the water suit. This has to do with being structured and organized around our feelings. So that's kind of an interesting thing. It's like, yes, it's okay to have our feelings, but we are practical about them and logical about them and rational about them. We know we're having our feelings, but we're not dominated by them. We have created structures and containers that help us to make sense of our feelings so that we are not at the effect of them. When we're little children and we have feelings, we just have our feelings, and we're essentially, they overcome us, and we are the feelings. But as we age and we become aware of ourselves and we have that distance between ourselves and our feelings, that's what this is sort of talking about. It's like becoming the observer, this understanding that, yeah, I'm feeling this. I can give it a name. I can give it a label. I can understand why it's happening. And I just observe it. I don't make myself wrong. I accept the fact that I am this incredible human being having this incredible emotional experience. And I also am bigger than that experience. I am wiser than that experience. I can hold that experience from that broader, wiser self. So this awareness around our feelings is important going forward. This observer of self, of being able to be kind and gentle with ourselves, just as we would want to be kind and gentle with anyone who's having intense feelings. But having this sort of an observational structure around our emotional experience so that, yes, we recognize that we're having it. We don't make ourselves wrong for having those feelings. But at the same time, we are not dominated or controlled or overcome by those feelings. We're able to be the master of our experience, even in the middle of intense feeling. So this is information, as I said, from our past. This is, we've all had moments of this sort of mastery around our feelings. And this is what we're being called to. Yes, our emotions, our feelings, our sensations, this is all very much part of this incredible experience of humanness. And we also need to be bigger than it. We also need to understand that it's simply an aspect of our wholeness. And going forward, being able to call on that observational quality will give us enough distance and enough space to be able to respond kindly, lovingly, from a really whole and healthy place. The present card is the Prince of Wands. So princes are knights in other decks. This is about movement. This is about change. This is about energy shifting around and momentum building around the energy of wands, of that creativity, that inspiration, that passion, that generative potential that we all carry within us. This is sitting in our present environment. So using our energy, our creative generative energy to create momentum, to create change, to get us inspired, to get the energy shifting, to get us moving in right direction. So it's interesting because this is about, yes, we have our feelings and we recognize our feelings and they inform us. We're not dominated by them. And we can cultivate and leverage our excitement, our inspiration, those sensations in service to our greater good. And so this is what this card is talking about, is in our present. We are leveraging our generative creative potential to move things, to make new things happen, to create shift, to create movement in our lives. And it's a powerful time to be using this energy because, of course, this is the new year, the beginning of the new year. We're in the month of January. We're kind of setting the foundation or the tone for the rest of the year. And this energy of mastery, first and foremost, over our emotional state so that we are in the best place possible. And then from that state of mastery, using our enthusiasm, our yes, our energy, our generative, rejuvenating energy, and creating openings, creating momentum, getting excited, leveraging that excitement to add it to the picture that we're holding for this coming year. The near future, Prince of Swords. So again, this is a prince is a knight, and knights are about that change, about that movement, about that transformation. And we have this knight charging around on his big horse. He's definitely moving, and he's even got, the shield and the lance, as knights are supposed to. And this is change. This is this momentum, change on the level of ideas and action. New ideas lead to new action. So this enthusiasm is directing us to new ideas and new action. So in our future, we're actually building this momentum and taking new steps in our lives, creating new opportunities, new openings, new ideas, new action. Like I said, there's a freshness to this. And as a result of that, it's exciting and there's movement and there's good things happening. So it's a very, very kind of up and positive sort of creative generative flow here, but double the energy. The foundation card, why we're having this reading this week, is around this energy of the Four of Pentacles, and the name of the card is Possessiveness, and we've seen her before. She's naked, clutching her precious jewels to her chest, looking around furtively, worried that somebody's coming to get her stuff. This card is about the density that happens when we get into fear, when we get into those denser, heavier emotions. We just shut down. And it's really hard for divine inspiration to find us. It's hard for us to have the insights and the distinctions that we need in order to take that deep breath, receive that wisdom and that information from the wiser part of ourselves and implement it. So this foundation card is essentially saying, hey, be mindful of your density. Be mindful of where your emotions are. Again, when we have mastery over the feelings, over the sensation, this emotional state, this energy changes how we be. And then we're not going into this density. We're not afraid of somebody coming to get our stuff because we know that the universe is the source of our stuff. We are pulling in what we need all the time. This is a pentacle. This is the earth element. This is the element of humanness. As I've said before, everything that's lovely about being in a human body, the sensory, gorgeous experience that we have of sampling and enjoying and tasting and moving through the world and smelling the flowers and eating gorgeous food. It's about community. It's about friendships. It's about business. It's about money. It's about home. It's about the body. All of that is contained in the energy of pentacles. And this Four of Pentacles is saying, hey, don't get too stuck in the material, because if you do, you get very dense. You get very closed down and fearful of somebody coming to get your stuff. We're here on this planet. Yes, we have human material bodies that need comfort, that need nourishment, that need to be sheltered and protected. Absolutely. But there's something about holding too tightly, being too dense, about being too shut down, and not allowing ourselves the breadth of the experience that we came to have, being too material. And so remembering the breath. The breath brings the mind back to the beautiful body. The body is the compass of our experience. It knows the yes, it knows the no. We need to have this integration between all aspects of ourselves. And our minds like to go wandering. They're adventurers. They go here, there, everywhere. But if they're not connected to the body, then we are disconnected from our physical, practical experience. And that leads to poor decision making and strange upsets. The body, stay grounded in the body. It's a very, very good thing, but not too much in the body. It's like this lovely balance between the appreciation and the gorgeousness of having sensory experience and not being so attached to it that we shut down and that it pushes us into fear, and so that we are closed off and no longer receiving the flow of the universe through us. Another interesting thing about this reading is we have water, fire, air, and earth, one of each of the elements. And I believe that is a very auspicious sign, this sort of quality of balanced energy. We aren't dominated by one thing or the other here. These are all, there's an understanding that all of it is important. The mind is not important than the body is not important than the emotions and the heart space, and the heart space is not more important than the spiritual self. We have all aspects in our being, and this card is beautifully laying out that it's about harmony, it's about balance, it's about right balance, it's about doing it all in these human bodies at the same time, being kind to ourselves, loving ourselves, supporting ourselves so that we are in the best and most resilient state physically, so that we can be broader in our perspective and welcome in those insights and move through life as a channel for love, light, and grace. Because, well, let's face it, that's the best way to be, the most rewarding and satisfying way to be. So I think that's pretty straight up. We've got a lot of energy, momentum that we can add ours to. We've talked about that before in other readings, that we are on the frontier of a new experience for humanity. And those of us who are deliberately cultivating our conscious selves, we are helping to build that wall of energy, or that front of energy that's rippling out into all corners of life. Definitely here on this planet, and I believe beyond. We are adding to the field of life beyond just the human field, the collective life field. And so this momentum is building, and holding ourselves in right balance, being kind and generous with ourselves, because we are human. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, and so we do have the limitations of this human form that we need to contend with and work with rather than against or ignore. We have to be allies with this human form and leverage it, support it in the best way possible, so that we can hold as much frequency and light energy as possible at this time going forward, and build this incredible field of momentum, not just for ourselves, but for all life everywhere. Because that's what's happening right now. The energy is getting stronger. We are changing and shifting, learning to hold more light, learning to say yes to our yes, learning to be conduits for love, light, and grace, that divine energy flowing through us into the world, and having less resistance for it, so that there's just more harmony and more flow and more grace and more ease and more fun and more delight. That's where we're headed. So this week is sort of part of this flavor of the energy that's coming. This is the first full reading. Is it? No, second one. Anyway, but this flavor is here for us, this balanced energy this year. But this is about mastery. This is about us balancing the energy. So that's a pretty clear reading, I think, for this week. Why don't we pull the card to grow on? All right. Thank you, cards, for providing us with the insights and the distinctions we need to make best use of the energies of these times in service to our good, the good of all those we love, the good of the human family, the good of all life on this planet, the good of Mother Earth herself, and all life everywhere. Because, well, we are part of life. Okay, so what is our card to grow on, please, this week? That we may carry this distinction with us forward, helping to build new light, new love, new insights, new distinctions, new solutions, whatever it is that the human family and the earth family needs at this time to shift us into new right relationship with ourselves, each other, and this planet, and its place in the solar system. Okay, ooh, the High Priestess. There we go. Key to the High Priestess. So, the High Priestess. She walks the line between life and death. She understands the mysteries. There's this connection to all that is, and this flowing with the energy of all that is, being a representation of it and a channel for it, and this understanding of the mysteries of life, and that we don't have all the solutions and we haven't got it all figured out, and life is still a surprise and delight to us, and being in right relationship with that. As so many of us try to control everything. It's part of our human conditioning. It's how we avoid failure. It's how we avoid fear. We try to be in control. We try to dominate everything and make it go the way we want it to go. And this energy is about understanding the mystery of embodied experience. This is beyond the control. We have control, certainly. We have an ability to work with the qualities of nature and to bend reality, because we're powerful creators. But there's a way of doing this. There's a right balance to doing this. This isn't about density. This isn't about pushing water uphill or being relentless and muscling it. This is about staying light. This is about staying floating even quality. It's this sort of quality of working with nature without being too attached to anything, too gripped by anything, too dense. Again, coming back to that Four of Pentacles on the bottom, that density card, that possessiveness, that fear card that keeps us small and dense, and we hold on. This isn't about holding on. This is about that quality of floating with energy, flowing with the energy, and directing it and allowing life to surprise and delight us at the same time. Because, well, this is something better, right? Life knows us. We are part of life, and our desires are taking us in the direction of what we want. But we have to be in right relationship with that. Again, not holding on too tightly, keeping it light and energy, the energy flowing. So it's about right balance. This is about being comfortable with the fact that we don't necessarily know it all yet, and we're figuring it out. And there are mysteries that are waiting for us to discover and experience. And it is part of this delightful unfolding of the humanness of our experience, that this is still there happening. The mystery is still there to be discovered. And there's another one beyond that, and another one beyond that. And when we can get peaceful and comfortable and relaxed with it, that it's like a passive mastery. I don't know how to explain it. It's sort of like we're flowing with, rather than, as I said, dominating, controlling, trying to make happen, trying to force things. This is about the wisdom of right balance, of that gorgeous balance between, not one way, not the other, but in between, in the now moment, being soft and light and clean and clear and grateful and appreciative and kind and wise. All of that exists in this present moment, and that's what the High Priestess is calling us into. It's like this powerful, powerful place in the now moment. Light, responsive, not reactive, full of life, trusting life, and flowing with that trust and that flow, knowing it's all for us and it's all working out. So all of this quality is happening through the card this week, and this is our card to grow on. perhaps even how we need to be as we adjust and adapt to life, I would say that that lightness is going to be important for us going forward. That quality of balance, of floating, of nothing too intense, nothing too dense, nothing too hard, nothing too material. It's sort of in between. So I'm curious to see how this will unfold in our experience, and encourage just, again, that observation that we saw with the King of Hearts, staying observant, staying curious, staying open as we watch ourselves have our life experience, creating a bit of space so that we operate in life with curiosity and wonder rather than control and tightness and domination. Make sense? So there's our card to grow on this week, the lovely High Priestess. Making friends with the mysteries. Okay. With that, we have our reading. Hopefully it has been of highest service to you and will continue to serve you this week as you bring this energy and this conscious awareness into your experience in service to your good, my good, all of our goods, because, well, we love this life. And we are part of this human family, part of this earth family, and our good efforts and intentions amplify the good for everyone. I invite you to take a nice deep breath, letting it go, just dropping into that beautiful body, being here in this now moment and feeling how good it is. How good is it to be here now, having this amazing human divine experience. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I want to thank you for this opportunity to once again do this reading of the week, this time for the week of January 9th to the 16th, 2026. Thank you for the information you provided to us this week. Help us to make best use of it, to be wise and discerning, to be masterful about our emotions and our expressions, to be observant and appropriate in all that we do, all that we say, all how we be. Help us to make good use of our enthusiasm and our energy to create momentum and flow in right direction, that of our yes and the collective yes. Help us to be open to new ideas and action so that we can inspire each other and fire each other as we wander out into the world and do the good work that we came here to do, offer our gifts, see, affirm, and evoke the highest and best in each other, and all rise together in service of more love and light and amazingness on this planet. I want to thank all those who helped to hold this space today. This reading is at an end for another week, and I will look forward to coming back next week and doing it all over again with you across time and space, so that we can do this better. We all have that possibility, and if you're here, you carry that desire in your heart, and I acknowledge you for it. Thank you for sharing your energy with me and with the rest of the world. Onward and upward, my friends. I will see you next week. Lots of love, and bye for now.